G'day everyone. Proud to say Barkarati is brought to you by Radix Nutrition, makers of the most technically comprehensive nutrition products that have ever existed. Unlock your potential with Radix. G'day listeners. Welcome to Barkarati the Sailing Podcast. My name's Jordan Spencer. It's that time of the week when we get to hang out with some really cool sailors, but of course I have to share the mic with my two idiot mates in the mobile studio, Mr. Brett Perry.
Greetings, exalted one.
How are you, bro?
Yeah, coming here from Hotel Commodore on the way to an AFL elimination final for my oldest daughter, Kendra. So, yes, it's going to be a busy morning, but we're on target, so we're good. We're 2 minutes away from the Oval as we speak, and I'll be able to settle in.
Well, best of luck to Kendra. The reverse curse goes out to her, of course, mate.
Yeah, thanks. That'll be great. Yep.
Let's bring in the other bloke.
He had a voice that could make a wolverine purr.
Mr. Nick Bice.
Hey, BP.
Yeah.
You should post Barkarati, head out into the centre, head out into quarter time or half time, just to rev the girls up, just when you're fully fired up from Barkarati, and just get them fired up for their prelim, ready to roll. Perfect.
I reckon that's what we should do, because they all love sailing and they get on the podcast every week, these girls.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Of course they would. I wouldn't imagine that. That's right. Because we, are all over the TikToks and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're back
it.
after a week. We just couldn't get things lined up last week, man.
No. It was tough.
There's too much going on, too many different time zones, and just tough times.
Yeah, but you know what? I got to say, they don't get much spare time, but we've had our guest partner, who I know quite well, he will be in the same mood I'm in right now, because the old Wallabies have taken the reverse curse and are smashing it at the moment. And my God, last night, I know we're not allowed to talk rugby on the show, but I'm just telling you, everyone, I'm in a happy place.
Oh, rugby. There you go. Sorry, my mistake. Didn't know what you were talking about for a minute there.
I just want to mention the Wallabies. I just want to say I'm in a happy place.
Yeah, nice.
Nice.
Good. Cool. But plenty to talk about on
so much.
Oh my God.
A few different things, which we'll save, of course, for a bit of hot time. But yeah, busy times the last few weeks. Plenty of yachting going on. Plenty of carnage too, by the way.
I have to ask,
and that's what we love.
On that giant super yacht you just spent the last few days on, did you run?
Yeah.
I mean, there must be like 50, 100 people on that thing. So you must have about 10 or 15 guests from the show that you run into. Has that ever happened?
Yeah, we were thinking of going live at one point. Just everyone down into the, let's call it the concert hall.
Yeah.
Head into the concert hall.
Next to the piano.
Get the piano player to start banging out a few tunes and just a bit of mood music in the background.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And we could have gone live.
Yeah.
There were probably several occasions, one of which being sitting around the camp, the fire at one Tony Ray's house, the fire pit in the backyard, plenty of banter. Plenty of old stories, because it's a bit of a new crowd too, so all my old stories were coming out. You've got a bit carried away in front of the fire.
Love it.
But yeah, it would have been good. Laugh. Oh, did we laugh?
Oh, did we laugh?
Absolutely.
Well, I'm hoping we'll laugh today too, because our guest today is someone that I really enjoy hanging out with. She's a champion sailor, but a champion human being, and a lot of fun. We have some good conversations when we're in different parts of the world when we see each other. She is very talented sailor from the start, winning medals in the Opti straight away at World Championships, World Championships in 420s, I think second at the 29ers, winning a silver medal at the Olympics, winning World Championships in the 49er FX, pretty much just smashing the shit out of this sport and owning it. So can I just say, we are very happy to have on our show today, Alex Maloney. How are you, Alex?
Good, thanks. Yeah, thanks for having me. I think it's going to be fun to be here with you guys.
Well, there was a little some light banter prior to the show, but you've got yourself in the right mood. You've just got got home from from doing a bit of yoga. The chakra's live and well, ready to roll. Yep.
Yeah, that was a lovely morning, and always, feel good after a yoga class.
There's a slight
Well, it's
look
pretty
of
much
terror.
what us three got up to too, right? We're into a bit of that gear.
Oh, I tell you what, been running around. I'm strapped in though. I'm strapped in for the episode, so I'm ready to go.
Yeah, you got seatbelt still on, ready to go.
Cool. All right. Yeah. So, Alex, it's great to have you. Obviously, as I said, we get to hang out a little bit. You never had a real choice when it came to sailing, did you? You didn't have any choice at all.
Yeah, it's definitely in the family, I suppose. And we grew up for 3 years on a boat and cruised the South Pacific. And we had a little opti on the deck of mum and dad's keelboat. And yeah, it was definitely like a fun introduction to the sport. But interestingly, once we moved on to land in New Zealand, I didn't want anything to do with sailing for a few years and did swimming, netball, soccer, every other sport for a while until I kind of got dragged back into it.
How did you get dragged back in? Like, what was the scenario?
Well, I was still pretty young, and so we were traveling down to Auckland, like a 3.5 hour drive from up north in the Bay of Islands. And I was kind of just sitting on the beach with like my parents watching my brothers go out racing. And then I was like, oh, I might as well give it a go myself. And I kind of just fell in love with the sport again. And the racing side of it has always been really exciting for me.
It's
wow.
It's pretty cool.
Just back to the opti on the parents' keelboat. What keelboat was this one? And is this the one that you cruised for what, three or a few years around the Pacific on?
Yeah. So it's a 42-foot lid guard, and it's a New Zealand like home build in a shed, like all kauri wood, and it's pretty basic.
Wow.
Like it used to be a bit of a race boat before it was like transitioned into a cruising boat. So it did a few Sydney to Hobarts before mum and dad bought it and whatnot. And yeah, they still have it and spend a lot of the year on it. So they both love the cruising lifestyle and being on the ocean, which I think just like instilled the love of the sailing and the ocean and all of their kids, which is cool.
I was with a client the other day, and he did the same thing with his kids. How old were you when you were out cruising?
6 to 9.
Okay, yeah. So you've got vivid memories. What's your best memory of that time? Because it must be an amazing thing having that opportunity at that age.
Yeah, definitely feel really lucky to have been able to do that, and I still, every time I get the chance to kind of go meet mum and dad out there, I love to take it because it's just, it feels like home. Like we moved around a bit, but hijacker has kind of been the constant in a way. The favorite memory, that's definitely a lot of memories. Is hijack the name of the boat? Some bad.
Or were you just held up?
Interestingly, it is the name of the boat, but they didn't name it.
Okay.
They kind of inherited with the name, and it could be unlucky to change the boat name.
Yeah.
They kept it, and it's kind of grown on the family probably.
I just thought the listeners might want to understand that a bit better, but I didn't mean to interrupt your thought process, because BP's question's a great one with what's some of the best memories, because it's a very cool thing to do.
Yeah, it definitely. There's so many memories. It's hard to like pinpoint.
I mean, I've got visions of coral reefs. I've got visions of fish. I've got visions of coral. I've got visions of all sorts of things going on, because the photos that I saw of this family I was with is very much that, and I just think that is something that we'll never forget. Yeah,
definitely. I think for some reason all the stories that like come front to mind are more like the funny ones, or like the things that kind of went wrong. But I'm sure there was lots of peaceful, like lovely moments as well. But I think one funny one is we went up to Papua New Guinea towards the end of the cruising, and it's definitely like more remote up there compared to Fiji and Vanuatu and whatnot. And I think before then, all three of us had like full trust in the parents. And like for PE, they used to make us like swim around the boat or just get energy out or whatnot. And they kept reassuring us there was like no crocodiles in the Louisiades.
That's not true.
Yeah, it's not true. And we like took a dinghy to this like beautiful, pristine beach, and there was like crocodile path marked out, and so I think we probably started questioning them a little bit more, kind of instilled some critical thinking skills.
Yeah,
Well, a little fun
well,
fact,
that's a beauty.
actually, Alex, and I'm not sure if you went to the exact place, but Jordan Spencer was born in Papua New Guinea, and
Really?
or lived in Papua New Guinea. I think there's actually a statue of him around
Yes.
somewhere, and it's it's tinted white with red hair. It's perfect. I'm amazed you didn't see it.
Papua New Guinea's version of Baby CEO.
I do know a few people have gone into the Papua New Guinea Yacht Club just to see if my photo's up in the toilet, like most other yacht clubs.
Most yacht clubs.
But Alex, the interesting thing about Alex being a Kiwi, he was born in the US.
Yeah, so the cruising decision Mum and Dad made to kind of escape the rat race or whatnot of living in California. I think once they decided to do that, they were searching for boats around the Bay Area and the States, and a combination of factors. I think just a mate of theirs suggested a boat down in New Zealand, and quite a few factors made it appealing, and it was just a lot more affordable and whatnot. So that kind of initially brought us to New Zealand, and then while we were there getting like ready to go cruising, and during the whole time cruising, I think we just met so many great Kiwis, and they really loved the lifestyle. So decided after the 3 years on the boat to get residency and make that move, which was probably a pretty big decision on their part, but I'm glad they did it.
Yeah, but I just need to fact check something. You said you met a lot of great Kiwis.
Loaded question.
And Aussies.
Careful.
Yeah, that's actually not a question. It's more of a statement.
No. We love the Kiwis. It's your folks obviously have a real sense of adventure. You know, I'm interested from that perspective. Obviously, one of the things we talk about on the show is to be, if we get questions all the time, how you become a good sailor. Well, you go and spend all your time on the water. You just got to go sailing and enjoy it, you know. And I wonder also, with that passion, you know, like I know you reasonably well, Alex, and you get into doing anything, you know, like I know you're wing dinging at the moment, and you know you'll go on all sorts of adventures and do triathlons and swims and all that sort of stuff. So you love it, right? You just love doing things. So, but I'm interested if on that family dynamic with you guys, you and your brothers and your folks, you're all going sailing, you're enjoying it, you're loving being on the water, you're having fun. The actual element where you become really good racers, you know, where you go from day one, you know, like you went straight out there and you're having success. Is it because you guys, like, were you talking a lot about tactics over dinner, or you were talking about boat speed? Like, were you that entrenched in sailing or was it the drive back to the Bay of Islands? You know, I'm just intrigued how it all sort of played out.
A good question. I think, like, even when we were cruising, we had the Wooden Optimist on the deck called Sweet As, and
Choice, bro.
we were,
You just needed the second one.
Oh, where are you guys from? Sweet as.
The second one, Sweet As and Choice, bro.
We again didn't name that one, but
And then there was the laser called Cuzzy Bro. Sorry.
No, it's all good.
Oh, we could go on for hours on this one.
Oh, you reckon? I reckon so.
Yeah. But I think the three of us, or we would rig it up, and like sometimes all three kids would hop in it, and we even used the wind catcher as like we rigged up a little spinnaker on the Opti, and I think we just had a lot of fun, like sailing from an early age, and it wasn't about like
competition.
It wasn't about competition, but looking back, it probably taught us like a lot of skills, like more intrinsically, like kind of just again that time on the water. And so then once we kind of started racing in the junior scene in New Zealand, I think maybe those skills were already at a level that we didn't maybe realize. Like it probably shortcutted a few of the learning curves, but in a really fun way.
You had the
And
boat
then-
dynamics is what you're saying, you know, like you just knew how to sail efficiently and well. But yep, okay.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think we all kind of, definitely threw ourselves into it. Like the brothers were really involved with like the teams racing side at KK High School. And I became like a very serious little opti sailor. Like I guess once I decided to do it, I was like 100% in, and had like some really good coaching. There was the likes of like Andrew Murdoch up north that kind of helped a lot of us younger kids up through the systems, because he had a lot of experience on like the national and international level, and I know he mentored a lot of us, because there was quite a few sailors that came from up north at the time. And then I think we just, even in Kerry, we spent hours on the water. Like there weren't that many of us, but like I was in an Optimus and Jessie Took was in a P class, and we would just go out and train, and there wasn't always coaching. Like we often went out just by ourselves, and I think it's just the hours on the water. And then when we moved to Auckland when I was 15, there was definitely a lot more structure within those club systems, and kind of just helped me progress, I think, further.
So it was the coaching more so than shared information amongst the family.
I guess a bit of both. Like I think it's always pretty cool to be able to bounce ideas off your siblings and your parents. Because both mum and dad grew up sailing at dinghies in the States, like old Toros, and dad actually raced the 49er when it was first a class, when it was like in the development stage in California. So lots of rigs breaking and whatnot.
Did you race it?
I remember that.
Did you race it?
Oh, really?
QBP.
Yeah.
49
Q
development.
Yeah.
No, it's just a theory I've had for a long time about that whole aspect. You know, when you get families that are into the sport rather than just one, you know, it makes you get those dinner table discussions where you throw ideas at each other, and the mutual support. I always think it's quite a good thing.
Did you have mutual competition though between the family? Was it like once you're on the water with the family?
Yeah.
You know, as much as I love you, God, I hate you.
Yeah. I actually sadly never really overlapped with my brothers. I was like a little bit step behind them, and then I'm pretty small compared to them. So I was kind of, after opties, I was more into like the double-handed classes where they went more like the laser radial than laser pathway. So unfortunately, never got that sibling rivalry that much.
Hang on. There's no question. Like, what's Andy? He got the laser radial world champs, and he got the fin world champs, Sydney. So you've got what, 2 world champs as well, and a silver medal. Do you ever, like, when you get together for Christmas, do you go, you know, nice but not quite close enough, Andy? Do you?
I don't know. His whole sailing progression has just leaped forward so much in like the professional big boat stuff. So it's kind of hard to compare pathways now.
Still hanging on him, though. Still hanging on him.
I'd still walk around with my medal around my neck and make sure that he sees it every day, you know. Like
Actually, I wouldn't, because he missed out going to the Olympics. Like it was a really tight decision, and that would have been hard for him, I reckon. And he's a good guy, so I don't want to bag him in any way at all.
No.
Both those blokes are good guys.
Yeah, exactly. I think Andy had like 3 close Olympic trials, and they're always kind of in those really hotly contested classes. Like it could sometimes fall either way. And I thought his persistence and just like how he kept
his mental strength,
just driving forward, was really, really cool to see.
Yeah.
Nice words.
No, that's cool. Well, with obviously you got into the 49er FX, and when you and Molly got together, that was obviously a great combination. Did you know that from day one?
Yeah, I think so. I think we actually went to my last Youth Worlds. She was in the radial and I was in the mixed 29er, or it was an open class at that Youth Worlds. and we were actually like in the same room, and just were really good friends. Like, well, Andy and Sam were training. Her brother and my brother were training against each other in the radio, and we just had a lot of like, they would stay with us when they were in Auckland, and we would stay with them when we were down in Tauranga, and it's kind of those family things. So we were already like good friends. And then I think with the announcement of a women's skiff for the 2016 games, I like instantly knew that was like the class I would really love to pursue at that level.
Yeah.
And it was a matter of just finding the right combination. And she was like a really obvious choice because she her
compensates for your difference in height.
Plenty of leverage there. Yeah, you'll do.
Yeah. Well, she was a good single-handed sailor, really athletic, and I knew like she would be someone that I could spend a lot of time with. Like, she's a really nice person. So that was kind of why I asked her, and I think it was like, oh, she was loving the radio, but I think actually her older brother Sam might have said it could be a lot of fun sailing like a really fast boat, because he was probably in the midst of the laser slog. Yeah.
We have spoken about the laser slog more than once, and we probably don't need to speak about it again. But you can, it'd literally take one decent sail, I'd imagine, and you get pretty hooked in that sort of boat, skiff sailing.
Yeah, definitely. And it was a really fun time as well, because when it was first announced, it wasn't clear what class they were going to choose. So we first like kind of started in the 29er to get like crew trapezing skills. And then there was a weird moment where the 29er XX looked like a possibility. So we spent quite a lot of time in that, which actually taught us a lot, I think, because that boat is very hard to jibe in comparison to any other skiff, I think, because it's just the tall rig and really narrow platform. So you have to be pretty precise. And then we were lucky to go to the Santander skiff trials. It was like the skiff and the multi-hull trials, and we got to like sail all these different types of boats.
Oh wow,
it was really fun actually, because it was like just a bunch of sailors from all over the world, and we were just trialing different boats and kind of giving feedback, and it was a cool process to be involved with.
And what was, if you just think back to that, what was your feedback on all the different classes? Did you choose this boat, or you like the multi-hulls? Where did it end up in your mind?
Yeah, we were mainly involved with the skiff trials because we kind of had identified that was the class we were keen to pursue. But there was, I want to say maybe like 6 or 7 different classes that brought a boat to the trials. And I remember there being an epic one called the Rebel, and it was a UK-based designer, and it was a really light boat, and it was like really intricate, and it was really fun to sail, and he did an amazing job getting the boat up to a really cool level.
I can see Bicey having a look online.
Yeah.
If it has
nothing,
I was just going to say the Rainbow Rebel, just to make him really look hard. But anyway, keep going. Sorry, Alex. Keep going, Alex.
Okay. Yeah, and I think there was really cool options, but I think just the accessibility and like the cost efficiency of choosing the 49er FX made a lot of sense to world sailing, and it's also really cool. I think it's a great decision just because it got a lot of us into the class for a lower cost, and being able to share a lot of equipment and ideas with the 49er men was pretty powerful.
It makes a lot of sense, that whole process, because I think you were because you were right at the cutting edge of when the 49er FX happening. I'm guessing Bicey's found the Rebel by now, just by the way.
Yeah, I've got the Rebel. Yep.
What do you think?
I just looks. I get why it's a cool looking thing, a cool boat. Yeah. It's maybe a bit aged, I would say.
Okay.
This was a while ago, though.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah.
So
but if you're lining it up against the F49ers or any others, for sure.
This is coming from the promoter of the Rainbow.
I mean, age doesn't come into it when you talk about the Rainbow.
Alex, do you know what a rainbow dinghy is? You've never heard
I
of
feel
it,
like I
had you?
need to Google it.
Yeah, no, it's
Oh, yeah,
easy. I'll
get a
describe
look.
it for you. Somebody took a shoebox and put a mast with a main and a jib on, and then it's the flattest
But
thing.
let me tell you, Alex, probably one of the fastest shoe boxes one would ever find, or you either had a very long, skinny foot.
Yeah,
Sounds interesting.
yeah. You can look later on.
Yeah.
Bicey is. We've got a couple of things that we're renowned for in the show, and Bicey's brought back the rainbow, and that was always his hashtag from day one. And so rainbow, there's building programs for rainbows going on now. It's quite insane. But then we also the Croc, the Croc shoe. That program. How Crocs became really cool there for a while. That's all Barkarati. It's all from Barkarati.
Yeah.
Croc
Taking the
big
credit
time.
for that.
Yeah.
We'll take the credit. Unfortunately, we're not getting the royalties.
Royalty, yeah, that's right. They need to pay up. But so when you get into that, sailing all those different classes, and the logic you said about the 49 FX with the lower costs and the program support. Moving that boat around because the hull was designed for a bigger weight combination. So it's got a smaller rig. Do you notice, is it quite a stable platform for you guys when you're racing the FX?
I think reasonably. Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
I think it's a really well designed boat. Like the Beckwiths did an amazing job with that boat back in the day, and I think it's stood the test of time, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like I think it's still such an exciting boat to sail.
Yeah.
It's like
100%.
so much fun, and to me it looks like aesthetically cool as well. So
yeah,
I think they did a pretty good job for it to last this long.
Yeah. Yep. Just waiting for BP to jump in at any time.
I'm just sitting here, just remembering the days of it in little old Ballara boat shed there, and it's like all these dreams of Julian, and here they are today, and being witnessed and being sort of solidified by people who've sailed them. It's pretty cool to hear from the outside, actually.
Yeah, no, great boat, and you know what it's really fun to watch as well. Like when we watch the Olympic competition, because there's a couple of things that make it really good. Is that obviously the boats are high performance, and so you can get a few good crashes and stuff, but they're being sailed so well. Like the level of sailing on the things, particularly, watching the women sail these boats just so well. It's the same with the men. They're both executing manoeuvres just at such a high level, and the closeness of the competition makes it really, really exciting to watch. And that closeness of competition is your silver medal. Like with that medal race, wasn't there 4 of you guys that you could win that medal race, like win that gold, like going in? That was Rio, wasn't it? That was Rio, from memory.
Yeah. No, that's right. Yeah, the first cycle of the 49 FX, which is cool to look back on, because I think the fleet has progressed so much since then as well. Like that cycle was just so much fun because like the whole fleet came together and we were all learning how to sail this boat, and I think it was just like a really cool time in the fleet, because I think it just brought a lot of camaraderie, and I think you see it in the younger girls or women starting to sail the class as well. Like you see, I think just the nature of the boat being challenging, and some of those like big wind days, like the whole fleet comes together, and I think it is a really fun class. But that first cycle was definitely fond memories of that time. And Rio, that Olympics was really great, and I think just having 4 of us on, I think equal points going into the medal race made it pretty exciting for spectators, and then also to be involved with. Yeah,
lucky you'd been in New Zealand long enough to just have the staunchness of a Kiwi to come out with the silver. But yeah, that could have been some nerves kicking around the evening beforehand, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think there was a whole day off before, because our racing went to schedule.
Oh, yeah.
So we had a whole day off before the medal race. But I think, I guess luckily, or that Olympics in particular, I felt like we were both in a really good headspace. And I think they say like all the preparation's done, and then it's kind of like a mental aspect to actually add a big event. And I think that really holds true. I think it felt pretty relaxed in general within the Kiwi camp, and then we had some really good like role models to look up to. And I think for it being like a first Olympics, I think it was a really good experience, and I think we were like, of course we were nervous, but I felt like quite a light, like positive nervousness heading into the medal race, which I think was pretty cool.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, it's amazing. Like I don't know how you'd be, boys, but I reckon I'd be pretty amped going into it. Like you'd be using every psychological trick you've got, just to keep yourself.
I'm nervous at the 5-minute gun of every race.
It's the time to switch on. That's it.
Yeah.
But like that whole build-up program. So you and Molly had something special, I think, because the first Worlds was the one you won, isn't it? The first actual Worlds in the class.
Yeah, that's right. In Marseille, actually, where the last Olympics, the same venue. I think that was really fun because again, like the level has increased a lot, but I felt quite I don't know if it was a little bit of luck, I think, on our side that Worlds, if I'm completely honest, because I think we had quite a jump, or not a jump, like, but we were still racing and it was like really close racing, and we were still learning a lot, but we were lucky to like kind of help with the development of we had a bit of time, is what I'm trying to say, in the boat. So I think our boat handling got to a little bit of a higher level earlier, which was still good racing, and I shouldn't say it was just luck, but definitely felt like a unique time within the class.
Look at your hands.
Well, I mean, like,
yeah, I don't know how to say that.
It's being very diplomatic to say you were awesome, really.
Yeah.
No, because if you look, I feel like
you're allowed to say it.
Yeah, we're saying it for you.
Yeah, but it's just more maybe if you looked back at the footage of that Worlds and then probably the more recent Worlds, you'd be like, wow, the fleet's just got closer and everyone's level has just risen. And even ours, like even before the Tokyo Olympics, our level would have been a lot higher than at that. Yeah, obviously at that stage, the class was so new.
But
there's no doubt when you look at the way that everyone's sailing the boats. I mean, even just hiking, for example, you look at the hiking, going upwind on the wire, and the way that people are positioned now. We were nowhere near that 20 years ago. We were just like, oh, you're just hanging on a bloody wire on the end of the mast, But you look at it now, and it's so critical to be in the right spot and to respond and to, have that weight moving around the boat. I mean, that's just part of time on the water. And what you're saying is that you'd had the time on the water, and so you were, and quite rightly so, you felt like you were really confident and comfortable, but you also were responding to little things that were making the boat go fast. And that is the key to your results. So I'd be proud.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Don't diminish anything, because every sport, if you go through any Olympic sport and look back on videos, everything's improved because, it's just a pyramid of gained knowledge. So, you're the best with what was known at the time. So there's no point.
I'm just watching Vicey. I'm just waiting for something to come out. I don't know, something about 5-0s or I don't know.
No, not at all. It's all about Alex. But what I'm keen to hear about is like the whole Rio thing, the World Championships, all those, and then it leads into Tokyo, which was a little bit bumpy, to say the least.
Yeah.
With everything going on, right? The whole COVID thing, just to cause a little bit of disruption, a few injuries, and a few other things.
Yeah, definitely. Was a different cycle. And it's still like so many good moments within that cycle for us. We still were on the podium at World Championships, and World Cup events, and actually had a really good run in the Olympic venue in Japan. Like I really love sailing in Enoshima, and like the whole culture in Japan is amazing. Everyone's so nice. I actually really enjoyed spending time in Japan. And then you're right, COVID was a bit of a disruption, and I'm sure the Australian girls would have felt it as well. But it was pretty interesting times with kind of being stuck in New Zealand and having like plan A to D, and kind of watching like the rest of the fleet just train, and we had to get pretty creative with we don't have massive squads.
Something along the lines of going to gym with the heaters on. Was that something I read somewhere?
Oh yeah, we did a bit of heat training. Yeah. did a bit of hot yoga as well, actually.
Hot yoga? Well,
I find
Yeah.
all yoga hot.
Yeah, but we had to get creative, and because our training partners were at the time the Brazilian girls and the Norwegian girls, but obviously we couldn't train with them, and we were lacking big squads in New Zealand. So we did get creative, and we got two boys, Marcus Somerville and Sam Street, in the FX to train against us, which they were amazing and they really pushed us. But it was a bit different. They were a bit heavier, and I think it was just hard to I think we probably did the best. Well, I think hindsight's always great. We could have done things differently. And we did get the chance to go over to Lanzarote a few months before those Olympics and touch back with the fleet, which was really good for us. And we're actually still amongst it. Like, I think we came fourth at that event, and it felt like we were learning to race again, though, a little bit. And I think then by the time we got to Tokyo, I'm not quite sure what shifted in those few months, but it just, it wasn't, I guess, just wasn't our event. And we both felt like we definitely underperformed, which is a really hard thing to do when you spend so much time focusing on one event. And it feels also like that event represents the whole cycle. So yeah, it definitely felt like a failure, but I guess in hindsight, you can think of lots of things you would have done differently, but it was just a bad week of sailing, really, it felt like.
So how did you and Molly handle the pressure of racing together? Because like your friends, then the amount of time you spend together, you know, it's a special bond, and it can get hard. It can be, you must go through different phases in the relationship. How do you deal with that? Like, Molly is a lovely human being, so I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I think I feel like maybe the first cycle we were just so new to it all, and it was also so exciting, and it probably came maybe a lot more natural. And then the second cycle, we were still really good friends and still really enjoyed it, and we're dedicated. But it was just a different cycle in general, and I think we maybe had to work harder to have that same like natural ease. And there were some really good moments and then some tougher moments, as with I think any sailing partnership. And we had really good support around us as well, which was lucky. We were able to access like a campaign planner, a sports psych, and I think we did work hard to like try our best and make it a really good like working relationship. But we are still friends, which is cool. And I think we had a lot of enjoyable time sailing together.
Do you think this is more a general question, not specific for you guys, but by adding all those extra resources like the campaign managers, that all helps, but psychs and all those sorts of things, does that take away the natural element a little bit? Or is it clearly done for a reason, but do you think it just kind of added a bit of tension? That tension's the wrong word. Don't know what the right word is, but just that professionalism, I guess.
Yeah, I think just as you progress and you get older, maybe it's like, I guess when we first start doing this sport, you always just do it for the love of it, and you just enjoy going out on the water and you're with mates. And then as you kind of progress, it probably becomes naturally more professional. And then when you do a second cycle, you're kind of, obviously you want to do better than the first cycle. So there's maybe more expectations and whatnot. And we were definitely aiming to get a gold medal and did underperform. So I think, to answer your question, I think sailing is like, it can be such a simple sport, and I think it is easy to overcomplicate it. And I mean, hindsight is great, but probably trying to find the simplicity and making sure you can kind of not go back to the roots of it, but make sure you can kind of keep lightness about it is pretty important, I think, because you can definitely overcomplicate a pretty, well, not simple, there's a lot of factors, but a fairly simple sport.
There you go. Good answer, because good news, man. We don't need to get the podcast psychs in just yet. Okay? Just keep it light.
Keep it light and
Keep
simple.
the vibe high.
keep the vibe of the
Do
show on
things
the
as a
road.
team, and we'll do it my way. Okay.
That's it.
One thing you guys had, though, I know, is you had a Red Bull partnership, and I'm intrigued. Like, did that do they bring you in for stuff like that, or it's pretty low touch with Red Bull?
Yeah, we were lucky from, I think, the end of the 2013 season. We approached them, and we had a few meetings throughout the year. And by the end of the 2013 season, they kind of surprised us with a cool sponsorship. Because I guess we were looking at just budgets and whatnot, and there was a gap to fill, and we just wrote down a list of dream sponsors, and they were at the top of the list. So that was a cool experience, or like learning curve to go through working with Red Bull. And we did have a lot of touch points with them. Like most years there was an athlete camp, and we would get together in different locations in New Zealand for a few days with all the Red Bull athletes. And I don't know, that was pretty epic thinking back on it, because there's FMX riders, there's Mad Mike, who's like a car drifter. Braden Curry came on, and he's an Ironman. Yeah. But I feel like you learn so much from like talking to different athletes in different sports, and it's a lot of fun at the very least.
Did you?
I mean, there was only ever one dream in my world, in the sailing world, and that was to be sponsored by VB. Right? Very similar type product. And I did get the VB Express. We did receive some merch at one point. Yep, we got 6 stubby holders from Carlton United Breweries. Now, tell me though, Molly, as part of the Red Bull sponsorship, and Alex and Molly. Yeah, Alex and Molly.
You're so similar looking. It's incredible.
As part of the sponsorship, and we see Jimmy Spittle do it all the time. Every interview, he's got to have a can of Red Bull in your hand. How many Red Bulls did you smash? How many had Jägermeister in them? Talk us through it.
Not too many had Jägermeister, if I'm honest. But yeah, no, they are can in hand, and I think it's definitely like their product, so they want it at the forefront. But to be honest, we ended up mixing it with water sometimes, because it actually has.
I was going to say, it's not exactly a health drink.
Yeah, but also if you do mix it with water, like the sports nutritionists kind of got on board, because they realized it was important for us. And a lot of the sports products do have like sugar, caffeine. So for us, we actually ended up experimenting with it a bit, and it was kind of.
And how many flat brim hats have you got?
What was it?
How many flat brim hats do you have? Red Bull flat brims.
Yeah, definitely had a few back in the day, and kind of have only kept a few of the cooler ones.
I'm actually more interested, like when you do get together on those camps, like there would be some athletes there that you're going, oh yeah, wow, I can't wait to meet this person, right? But there'd be then.
Oh, then you run into the wakeboarder. He's around the corner having a few bongs.
But I'm wondering how many of them actually had any comprehension of what you were doing. Like when you say, oh, I'm a Red Bull athlete, and they start going, oh, what do you do? And I say, the 49er FX, and they're going, what you go sailing? Like what's that? They don't understand. Or were they across it?
Yeah, I think they learned, like we probably all learned about each other's sports, but it definitely wasn't a common sport for the New Zealand Red Bull athletes. So they probably were like, who are these girls?
Yeah.
But it was definitely like right time, right place when we approached Red Bull. Like they were looking for more women and ocean, like a water sport. Yeah. And I think it was a really good fit. And yeah, it definitely was a cool experience being sponsored by them. And I felt like we both learned a lot. And I think the brand's just like, it's so much bigger than just like a product as well. Like it's got the whole Red Bull media side and like the venture space, and you get to meet quite a few people that I think are really inspiring as well. And so I think it was definitely a cool experience being sponsored by them, and even going up to Salzburg where their head office was, and kind of just learning about their whole history of Red Bull. And they're one of like the first their marketing's pretty clever with like deciding to sponsor athletes and having kind of those type of ambassadors was pretty early days for that type of thinking, which was pretty cool.
Well, and then there was Mad Mick.
Yeah.
Mate, just drifting.
Drifting through life.
I'm just having a look at the Red Bull athletes now that are actually on the list.
Well, I was just going to say, but
we can't go past Oscar Mixwell Canales.
Oh no,
no, esports. He's all over it.
Esports, right.
That's how he stays up all night.
Yeah.
Do you remember when we were doing the ocean race, boss? We had Travis Rice come and hang out with us for a week. He's the snowboarding legend. I had no clue how big a deal he is in the world of snowboarding. Now I snowboard. Apparently, he's quite some big deal. I was chatting to some guy in the snow lodge, and I said, "Yeah, I spent a week with a guy called Travis Rice once," and this guy's just going, "Wow!" So
yeah,
he was cool. He was because he had the he had that catamaran he used to sail. Anyway, he was mad for sailing.
Yeah.
He was super keen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool.
But I think when you turn up with your being a sailor, they must go, oh well, Red Bull sponsor extreme athletes, so they must go, wow, you must do some pretty crazy sailing. That's what I figured they would have thought.
Yeah, I think so. And actually, how they introduced the sponsorship was it kind of surprising us with a fully branded boat and an old athlete, which was an extreme, a whitewater kayaker, Ben Brown. He had actually done a bit of sailing, and he kind of introduced us and gave us our hats and whatnot. But he definitely had a respect of skiff sailing, and I think New Zealand's also a small community, small country, and people really knew who I guess Pete and Blair were from winning the London Olympics, and so there was a bit of an awareness, but it's definitely not that mainstream compared to other sports.
And it is mandatory in New Zealand to own a boat, so some people, you've got to have some sort of exposure that way. So we should. I don't know. You got any other questions on that sort of stuff yet? Because I was going to go into the future.
Oh yeah, I'm just bookmarking this website. I'll be on down the rabbit hole all afternoon on the Red Bull site. It's pretty cool.
So
yeah, they do an amazing job storytelling and things like that. So
that is what they do very well.
Check it out.
What about for you now? That sort of you're coming to that phase, the Olympic career. I think I'm not sure if you're going to go ever again or not, but that phase of had all that experience, and now you've got to sort of find your next pathway. I feel like you're at that stage, and you obviously got all this knowledge and skill and, all these friends. Are you trying to do more sailing? Is that part what you want to do now, or are you looking for other things? Because, what gets you excited now?
Lots of things in life, but I think, I haven't raced properly for, it seems like a while. It's been a good break. Maybe a year or so, and I do really miss it. So I think I'm at the point where I'm exploring different options and keen to get back into the sport, just for the love of sailing and just really enjoy it in that sense. And definitely open to opportunities and things, but probably more at this point in time keen to combine it alongside starting to actually work a proper job and things like that. So
careful.
Don't worry about that. Do that shit later. That's cool.
You know what they need, boys. The 18-foot skiffs need a woman just to, they've had a few goes. They've had a few goes. They need an Alex in the Kiwis are strong. I reckon an 18 could be a go for Alex.
There you go.
We would back that wholeheartedly.
Yeah, definitely on the radar.
Oh,
I've been thinking about it and looking into it, which I had the opportunity to go out with Maddie Stevens, who is a main sheet. I don't know what I think he did the last JJs. He's sailed a lot of 18s for New Zealand. Molly and I went out with him back in the day, and it was so much fun. It felt like a big bus. It was only moderate breeze, so I'm sure it's a lot spicier when it's windy, but definitely had a lot of fun. And think there's a few factors to consider. Have been told I'm quite small for it, so I would definitely need to find 2 really big guys or consider sailing 4 up, but you never know.
That fits our criteria quite well.
Normal sized humans. I mean, this would be, and no disrespect, there are women sailing the 18s now doing a great job, and obviously I'm trying to remember, was it Sarah Lee won the 16 nationals, with the crew. And so it would be fantastic to get this sort of whole community of the women sort of coming in. And the 18 is a big, powerful boat. You'd need a couple of normal sized humans as we describe them. But there's plenty of big floppy lads out there at the moment. So it's a good pathway. Just we lost BP. That's right.
Oh, BP's out.
BP's one of the great things.
Must be quarter time.
I was just going to say, one of the great things about Gather Footy is putting your car close to the oval and maybe he found a chance to promote his spot next to the oval and watch the girls' game. So it's just maybe. He's back. He's back.
Oh, he's back. He's back.
But yeah, something like that would be super cool. Otherwise, I can see you doing all sorts of things, Alex. I reckon now everyone's going, oh, hang on, Alex is available. I think the phone might start ringing.
Oh, we'll see. I feel like I shouldn't say this, but sometimes I feel like a little bit out of date, or like I need to probably make an effort to start learning more new skills, because you can become a has-been pretty quick.
Yeah, but then what you do is you start a podcast and you talk shit.
Well, you've taken the first step, Alex. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, no, don't worry about that. There's plenty of opportunities in the yachting scene. I mean, all over the place, inshore, offshore, dinghies, everything. Rainbows, crocs, all the good things.
Have you thought about doing some offshore stuff?
Yeah, I actually did a while ago. After the Rio Olympics, there were like a few opportunities to do trials. They got a lot of FX women involved. I think the top 5, there was one person from a team kind of involved with that ocean race. And I really considered it, and I was actually really keen, but it didn't work out with the structure of the Olympic program. And I don't have that many regrets, but I think I regret at least taking a trial, because then you would have been like, this is definitely for me or not. But I love keel boating. I love like being offshore. I've probably done it more in an adventure space. Like I was lucky enough to do this random trip up in near the Arctic, like in Svalbard, and then I love being on keel boats and stuff, and I love racing, so I have a feeling I'd really love it, but haven't explored it. And but you never know.
Good driver on a keel boat, they're in demand, so that's a
100%.
100%. I know the exact person for you to go and have a chat to, actually. I know exactly where you're sitting right now. I know exactly where you have to go. Yeah, all right, well, that's pretty cool. I think we're going to have to ask some questions, because you have some insight. You're very connected in the world of Sail GP, and I feel like we have to talk about Sail GP, because you obviously, your brother's sailing Sail GP, your partner's on another boat. I think you probably have some information. If we ask you Sail GP questions, will that get you in trouble or not?
No, it won't get me in trouble, because they don't tell me all that much, if I'm honest. So I probably don't have that much more information.
Be careful, you don't know the questions yet.
Just talk shit anyway. Don't worry about it. That happens quite often on this show.
Yeah.
So just make it up.
Yeah, disclaimer, this is just my personal opinion, no facts.
So obviously Martini's someone you've sailed against for a long time, and your brother's on the boat, and there's a relationship there. So you must have felt pretty bad, like that. What happened? Have you got any goss at all? Did they fly too high, or what?
Martin and Ka were our training partners for like 7 years, and I also raced all my youth worlds against Martin and things, and really good friends with them. And then I was just stoked to see her as a first female driver. I think it's just really cool for sailing, and I think she's the woman for it as well. And then when I learned that Andy was going to be on the team, I thought that was pretty cool as well. And he always just like talks about her as like a sailor, like it's not about being the first woman driver, which I think is perfect as well. So I was just stoked for them. And yeah, it's cool to see. I think having your passion as your job is pretty cool. So yeah, happy for both of them.
Yeah. We're super happy. I mean, we speak to. We've been told in SailGP to call her Martini. I've always called her Martine, and you do there. So I've always felt I'm very confused. But anyway,
it's when she puts the beard on we get confused.
Alex might know that reference. But yeah, so when I was chatting to Martine last, she said, "Oh, come on the show. I'll come back on the show in September once I feel a bit more comfortable in the role."
Yeah, cool.
And they had that great where they got so close to winning, and they were doing. I think they've had a race win now, and I remember writing to her and I said, "You're making life really hard for me, Martini, because." I'm actually finding I'm cheering for you more than I am for the Aussies, because I'm so happy to see you succeeding. And so when we saw what happened in Germany the other night, it just felt just terrible for them, and for everyone. I'm glad everyone's safe. But that was crazy. The boat just...
I mean, Alex, you probably won't get this reference either, but BP, you will. To me, it just looked like a sand shoe blew out.
Yes, yeah. I was just about to say that was pretty well it. But yeah, it looked like a pretty simple situation that sort of just catapulted itself into what we saw at the end, wasn't it?
But basically, we saw major structural failure in the front beam, and lucky everyone's okay because could have gone any direction. And I guess with your comms, Alex. Everyone would have been a bit shaken up over the whole thing.
Yeah, that's probably a good point. Move on to that side of it if there's been some comms.
Yeah. I actually woke up in the middle of the night and I was just seeing what the time was on my phone. I saw some messages and it sparked my curiosity when Brazil was mentioned. So then I guess the first thing I saw when I looked was the accident or the... I don't know, it wasn't really an accident, but yeah, the nosedive situation. And the carnage, and definitely had a few messages back and forth with Andy, and I was just glad that everyone was okay, really. And I think it sounded like they had a really good week of training, and it really sounds like they're progressing in the right direction. And so hopefully they can get back on the water for the next event because it seems like they've got like good momentum going, especially after the race win in I think it was New York and whatnot. So yeah, hopefully they can just get back into it soon.
Yeah, nothing. A bit of sticky tape and some glad glue wouldn't help, eh? Bit of paper mache.
Yeah, it's definitely been a fair amount of carnage in Germany just so far.
Oh, hasn't there?
Might even go with the duct tape for this one, I reckon.
Or a couple paddle pop sticks.
The obviously just before the Brazilian one, the French, that rudder just snapping off and flying away. That was insane to watch, and that. It's just unbelievable. You could just see it just loaded up and then boom, she was gone.
It reminded me of one of my old water skiing stacks.
What do your legs fly off?
No, I landed on the water and the ski flew off and did a massive spiral through the air. Same sort of thing. It was pretty wild, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's what the commentators were saying, actually. Oh, this reminds me of that time BP came off up at Murray Bridge.
And the other one, I guess, is that... the port starboard where the Poms were clearly at fault being on starboard. And so, and that impact, have you heard, are they okay that we've lost the bow on the British, on the US boat? That
front fell off.
Yeah, that looked pretty extensive, that bit. And what about the damage to the Pommy boat and the crew there? Are they all okay? And they back in?
Yeah. I think, that was just a shocker, wasn't it? I feel like just, whoops. They're one of those ones that is just a human error, and I feel like would be pretty painful to be on both of the boats. But I think, surprisingly, I saw that it was probably worse than they expected. But then I've heard that they're they're meant to be back on the water for the final day of racing. So some busy shore team tonight. I imagine they're going to be working so hard to get that boat ready. And I'm sure the crew will really appreciate it though.
Yeah. Cool. Excellent. All right. I think we might call it there, Alex. I think we appreciate those insights. I'm really excited to see what happens next for you. I'm very keen. I just can't wait to catch up again and talk shit. So we wish you all the best, and thanks so much for taking time to join us on Barkarati.
No, thank you. Yeah, it was nice to meet everyone and catch up with you, Jordan. And thanks for having me.
Cool. See you, Alex.
Boys, good chat with Alex. She's, amazing record, amazing performance, and, she's on that sort of next phase of life, and I just hope it goes super well for her. She always seems to be having fun when I see her. Like she's always doing something, and you just love seeing people like that, and she's living a good life.
Given the way some of the ocean racing is going these days, and even the format of the Admirals Cups and Sardinia Cups and all these certain things, I think she'd be a good get.
She'd be a great get. Exactly right.
Get. Yeah.
Well, I think you nailed it there with the Admirals Cup. I think I had a chat today about that, and I think we're going to see something special going on there.
Yeah.
And you especially experiencing it firsthand.
I did.
Worth chatting about.
Yeah, we did plug Red Bull a bit there on Alex's
behalf.
Actually,
yeah,
I reckon I could slackline, and we could be Red Bull athletes. Yeah.
Well,
I have no question about that. I think that's not even. I think it's a given, to be honest.
Given. Well, I did want to mention it because we did that because I know Red Bull contributed so much to Alex and Molly's.
I know where you're going here.
Program, and they did a great job. And so I know how important Red Bull were to their performances, and that's why we brought it up, because you got to recognise when people put into that. And then if Alex continues on, then obviously and goes offshore, then she'll be able to have the Red Bull.
There's no wiser choice than to ball up some Red Bull, tip it into some radix.
It's nutrition.
And I'll tell you what, that's going to give you more than wings, my friend.
Oh, yeah. That's going to give you wings. That's going to give you dragonfly wings. The one they reckon dragonflies can hover.
Yeah.
So, not just wings. Hey, there's a bloody good one.
Not just wings.
Hey, not just wings.
Oh, by the way, boy. When we get to Sail GP, I've come up with a nickname for the Aussie team, by the way. Just while we're talking,
Red Bull plus Radix gives you not just wings.
Yeah. So if you want to try it, go to Radix Nutrition, right? Use Barkarati as a discount code in case it doesn't work that well. Just get it a bit cheaper on us. So that'd be the best thing. What the listeners probably need to know, BP, is that we recorded that interview, and then you were waiting for Kendra's final, elimination final, and we went into break so you could enjoy that. And now we're back. You've had the commiserate. Is it celebratory or commiseratory?
Oh, it's celebratory. It's kids' sport. I mean, every day at kids' sport is celebratory. But I've got to say,
we're not talking about marriage, mate.
No, It was a busy day. I had soccer in the morning, then Barkarati, then the football, and now here I am back at Barkarati. Yeah. For the listeners, my daughters are into the sport, and that's a good thing. It's a great thing. Mm-hmm. And AFL, Australian Rules Football, Kendra played today her first ever elimination final, which means if she loses, she gets knocked out. And unfortunately, they lost and got knocked out. But it was a great game of footy.
More time for Barkarati next week.
No excuses for BP
now. No. It was a busy day, though, I've got to say.
Yeah, cool. All right, let's move on to events. We've got plenty happening at the moment. There's a lot happening. Obviously, we've just had early race week, which we'll come back to, but Hamo race week is now underway. Kicked off today as we're recording. So that is one of the major events. So Hamilton Island race week, fondly called Hamo Race Week. All sorts of different classes. Everyone up there having a great time, including the Australian sailing teams up there racing their dinghy stuff around the place. So it'll be a ton of fun. Hamo is a good time. A lot of beautiful people there. I'm not sure why we're all not there because, we fill that beautiful people role. But
well, there's two words there, beautiful and people. We don't know which one is why we're not there. But
which one applies?
Yes.
Imagine just rolling up into Hamo in our white linens.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, here comes the Barcaradians.
Yeah.
Now, you're out. They wouldn't even let us in.
I love it.
So.
All right, other events. The International Flying 15 World Champs taking place at the National Sailing Academy in Weymouth, Great Britain.
Weymouth.
Yeah, the Way of the Mouth. That's the full name. Good fun. Flying 15s. I think they had really good conditions today. They had day one, 15 to 22 knots. Watched a bit of video, and they were scooting. They were having a good time.
Look, something I've picked up on, men.
Yeah.
Just chatting to many a pro on the circuit. There's not many pros that haven't sailed the Flying 15. It's a bit of a. If you've done well in the Flying 15, fair chance you are going to make it in the pro world. So it's one of those classes, quite similar to a rainbow, I think.
No, you know what the Flying 15 does really well? It's like a tunable class. Like you can make all the changes on lots of different things, different sit-outs. So you learn so much. It's like a 505.
Exactly.
Well,
505, Australian Sharpie, Rainbow, all the good ones.
All the good ones. That's it. But best of luck to the competitors in that. We're watching.
And I guess the other side of this, you're sailing two up, so you get the sort of double-handed experience, which leads to the X2. So we're all good. We're all over it.
There you go.
Yeah, all over it.
European champs for the SB20s on this week in Belgium. And speaking of double-handed, that's double-handed for the beers. The big...
Up in Belgium,
bloody big. They're a bloody big bottle or a glass in Belgium,
and they taste good too.
Yeah.
Right.
Best of luck.
Is it a country though, or is it a country though, or
it's a bit of an in-betweener?
Does it exist? I mean, is it, or is it just sort of somewhere that it's a figment of everyone's imagination and they just all end up drinking beer?
I'm not going to do it. Too much fun. What else? Oh, TP52s.
52s are back.
Yep.
The summer break is done. They following the calendar of the F1 teams. So summer break is done. Back into Portals. Portals, you'd argue, like a stalwart of on the calendar from a yearly basis, and one of the better parties, the crew party in Portals.
Yeah.
Hard to beat.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I read this somewhere. Might have been in a magazine. But no, Portals coming up next week. Going to be awesome.
Yeah, very cool.
Penultimate regatta, of course, followed by Sardinia at the end of September for the 5 regattas of the season. Fantastic.
Yep, cool. All right, moving on.
Love it.
Loving that indeed. Just remind everyone, if you are thinking of heading to Hobart at the end of the year, the Launceston to Hobart entries are open. So if you're into that, then jump on that. That'll be good fun for you. If anyone has interest in that, Sail GP sending me messages. Better careful what I say, I think is what they're just telling me.
No, you'll be right. Just mention it from the heart, mate. From the heart.
I'll tell you what, they've got to be up there with almost listener of the week, wouldn't they, at the moment?
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting lots of them.
Yeah. No, I get all the other ones, the other WhatsApp ones. Righto. Jack Lloyd listener of the week, boys. Obviously, presented by our friends at Vycobi, who fund the listener of the month, where they give a couple of $100 of gear away each month. And today's the day where we make the decision. We've got a few emails for the last 2 weeks that we want to touch on, and then we're going to just look back over a couple. We'll just speed through them. Obviously not going to read them all out, but I do want to say that we're giving away a couple $100 of fantastic Vycobi gear. So I hope it goes to someone that's very deserving. First one, we had a funny one. I got an Instagram picture come through from a couple of people sent it through. Arturo sailing coach and Eric Shearer sent through a picture of him coaching on a coach boat with a whole bunch of kids, Opti kids, sort of hanging alongside, looking over his shoulder as he's doing the full bar karate. And he sent with a little note just going, "Hey, super coach, look at my hands." And so, mad respect. How it starts. Yeah,
Next thing you know, they'll be normal-sized human beings, and they'll just be bar karatians.
So, yeah.
That's how it happens.
Pushing hard to get a photo above the toilet.
We also got a note from Conal Green. I didn't even listen to you then, baby. I just
took a while. I thought for a second I wasn't funny. You know, one of those moments.
Yeah, your audio wasn't working. Conal Green sending us a bit of an email on the Wasp Games, talking about how cool it was, what the great conditions were. 250 competitors, sort of three fleets to qualify into the gold fleet, and so on and so forth, and sharing his experience.
Almost deserves it for the video, doesn't it?
Yeah. He did send a video of him in nailing the port tack start on a huge fleet, so that was cool. So good work, Conal.
I'd like to just expand on that quickly for 1 second, if you don't mind. Like a port tack start with a 10-boat fleet, a 20-boat fleet, a 30-boat fleet is okay. You know, you can sort of it's quite a bold, scary manoeuvre. Port tack start on a foiling Wasp with 250 boats on a start line. Let's talk about that for a second.
Well, I mean, it all starts back from your inspiration, BP, and that wasn't necessarily a start. That was a port starboard. So we all know how the rules work, and we're going to talk about that in the Sail GP.
Yeah, we are.
But going back to the Great Race. Adelaide to Port Lincoln a couple of years ago. Remember, old mate just port tacked.
Oh, yes.
The fleet, sitting a leeward, drinking a beer. Everyone else goes across his stern. And he goes, Lincoln is that way.
Yes, I do remember that.
I love the trash talk as well.
I was on Victoire, and Daryl Hodgson didn't realise I was there.
That's right.
Oh, whatever you did on board. I'm not sure.
All right. So, good work, Conal, on that one.
Sorry, we're a bit off tangent, didn't we?
Simon Tribe sent a massive email in. It's a really good email talking about...
Tribesy. This is a absolute ripper.
Absolute ripper email. We've had a bit of discussion off air while BP was watching footy games, and we reckon that it's massive. Like, it's a massive email. It's too much to read out here. We're going to publish it, if Simon's happy with that, on our website, so you can do it. It's about building participation in sport, and some of the things that he observed, and then what he did to make it better. Right? He went through that whole process of saying, well, I'm not going to complain about it. I'm going to change it. And he's gone through and identified a whole bunch of steps and a whole bunch of different things. And it's a really cool, it talks about where he came from and why he's doing it and how he's doing it and what boats he used and why they use those boats and all sorts of really, 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 really cool things that he put in there. He did have one line that I do want to read out. Which I love. He said, one of my favourite coaches of all time, the wonderful Michael McNamara. You need
Nicky
to get
Mac.
On your Mac.
Yeah.
We need to get him on the pod. Yep. He once told me something I'll never forget. These kids look forward to sailing all week. Do not ruin it for them by making it shit. That's a classic line. So,
it's a classic because I think it's been forgotten about in the last 10, 15 years, I've got to say.
Yeah.
One instructor that stands by that methodology would be Brett Yardley. He's that sort of guy.
That makes it shit or doesn't make it shit?
Doesn't make it shit. Makes it absolutely enjoyable. And you know that for a fact.
You'll hit me now. Right. So that's a great email. We're going to actually put it on the website. I think Simon will give us the nod. Drew Scott, email about sexist classes, alluding to when you go to the Olympics, there's classes that are just for men and classes just for women, and we should be past all that. I think the simple answer to that is that's an Olympic committee requirement, that you've got to have a 50-50 ratio of percentages. So they have to differentiate the classes based on sexes. And because all the other sports don't really have the ability to mix like we're starting to develop in sailing, or we're really seeing works in sailing. So I don't think the sexism's coming from sailing.
I like his point, though. I like where he's going with it.
Yeah, good email, but I think that's where that's come about. So those emails are eligible. We're deciding listener of the month. The other ones that are eligible that I pulled out from through the last month, Andrew Lamming. He was the guy that sent in that whole discussion around stability, and he was talking about his Sigma 33 early in the month. I think Bicey
did a bit of a deep dive into that. I'm still need more deep diving to go. I just came up for a little breath, just going back down, and we're going to report on this further.
Okay. So can you just clarify for me, buddy, when you say you're doing a deep dive, are you doing like a scuba dive with all the gear on and rolling off the boat?
No.
Or you're on a 10-metre platform in a little tiny pair of Speedos?
Actually, given the nature of this particular podcast, I was in my Red Bull Speedos. Actually, it was a Red Bull Mankini. Believe it or not.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Do you have the little nose clip to keep the nose closed?
Oh yeah, nose clip. Yeah.
The other one maybe should be disqualified is Pat Langley when he wrote in his email saying that despite whatever we decided last month, he was going to give it to Jody anyway. Pat Langley being the guy behind Vycobi and his lovely partner,
founder and owner,
wife. But I think maybe he gets.
I'm going to put my hand up. I think it should go to Pat.
The other one, Phil Shearer with the Stockholm raid story, talking about the New Zealand boys and their time on the rocks and all that sort of stuff. Chris Gartnam, which sent us the indoor opti photo, which was fantastic. Will Deutsch with the Fastnet, listening to Barkarati photo. That was falling asleep.
I'm not sure whether he made it past the your initial entrance, Jordan Spencer.
Yeah, not many people do.
Our little bit of banter at the start, or whatever it was, or the particular interview. But as it turns out, you're welcome, Will, for having a little snooze on that particular off watch.
Good work.
Who needs hypnotherapy when you got Baccarat?
Yeah, there you go. We should actually charge like on the, as a psychological treatment.
Oh yeah, good to make money one day.
All right, so I know that Bice has decided in his mind who it's going to go to.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Do you want to pitch the winner?
No, you wouldn't even want to.
BP agrees?
You guys don't even get a vote on this one, but Tribe's got it for me. Simon, spectacular email, as mentioned by Jordan. We'll put it on the website with your blessing, of course. But I enjoyed the last little bit of the email. Jordan, let me buy you a beer and come and see the team on the lawn at RQ. So, not sure how you guys are going to recognise each other, but you'll be both wearing Vycobi
I was
apparel.
just going to say,
I like it.
Unless there's a big dispute from BP, I think
No. I'm going to sit on this one because I think it's wise. I think it's it's what we bang on about, and I think he's on song.
Well, here's my decision pathway. He's the first guy we've decided to put the email up on the website. I think that sort of is a testimony to the value of the email. So that was easy. It's an easy one, and we know we haven't sent him gear before. We don't want to double up, and we've never tracked who we've sent all the gear to. So we're concerned. We just wonder if we'll ever.
I do want to congratulate Connell Green on his port hand start. That was impressive.
Impressive. I love it. All right.
It's hot time with Bice.
It is.
Oh, so picture it. Newport, Rhode Island.
I'm picturing.
Staying at one Tony Ray's place, as in Tony Ray from United States of America, not Tony Ray from episode 72 from memory. Kiwi Tony Ray. Anyway, myself, Stevie Branner, big listener of the show, and Lou, one of the best navigators anyone would ever sail with, staying up in what I called Tony's Shrine, which is the attic, which we don't have attics in Australia, but we deserve to have attics. But we were up there, and we pretty much saw every trophy that Tony Ray had ever won. So I was thinking of getting Tony on the show at some point in time, but we don't need to, because I've got the photo evidence of everything that he's not quite everything, but just saying, what a cracking time in Newport last week on the bit of super yachting stuff. And I was just thinking to myself, these guys are kind of Barcaradians. We can start up at 6 a.m. and have a bit of a call and they wouldn't care type thing. But what they would care about, when hot time comes on, I start ripping off my tracksuit pants and things could start getting a little bit weird up in the attic.
Oh, yeah, no. You don't want to be up in the attic.
Shout out to my roomies. Yes. Awesome time. And I mean, to tell the truth, man, I've been a bit, not necessarily holding back, but I'm going to release a few pictures soon of that yachting we did in Newport, Rhode Island. Because it's sensational. On the Maximus 200-foot super yacht. I sent a few videos through to you boys.
Yep.
The cannon was on. Oh my gosh. How do you put this into perspective is what I want to know.
Well, I do want to highlight a couple of things you've said, Boss. One, so far on the show, you've got us with a visual image of you in a mankini at the top of a diving board. You got us with a visual image of you ripping your tracky dacks off in a room.
In an attic with a group of mates.
Copy.
I do want to highlight that the Navigator Lou must be good, because that boat's so big that you could be sailing in two separate weather systems and the navigational skills.
Yeah, it's lifting on the bow. Yeah, but we've got a spinnaker up on the mast and the ketch.
It's actually so big, it's like the Boeing factory. You can go down below and it generates its own clouds. Yeah. That's how big the boat is.
Oh, dear.
The piano player never stops playing, does he?
No, cool. But
it's like the old saying, it's always 5 o'clock somewhere on the boat.
It's happy hour in India.
Or the saying in Australia, like, and we've said this to each other more than once, when you kind of come in late with something. Yeah. Well done, Perth. It's like, well done, mizzen team.
Oh, yeah. The tactician's finished.
Right.
No, sensational. Anyway,
focus.
But as it turned out, Sunday racing last week, and then we were literally, everyone had their phones out. Crash, bang, the IMOCA boats round Europe race.
Man.
Now, this is where it starts. Like, there's a couple of crash bangs in the last...
been a lot.
Particularly this week. Probably more than anyone could ever imagine. So let's start with the round Europe race, IMOCA guys. We had 7 teams kicking off. Wholesome PRB, Map A, massive crash. Probably one of the bigger IMOCA crashes we've seen. Fortunately, no rigs down or no falls broken. Massive hole in the side of Wholesome from Map A's deck spreader. But literally, that was one of the bigger ones you're going to see. From what I saw, Wholesome's come out of the tack. They're just getting their keel canted, everything back on track. Boat flattens out, and then Wooshka from Windward, Map A just comes in, runs straight into him. Just no vision at all. No vision.
It's been discussed, The
video's pretty horrible. Anyway,
horrible. But I don't know. Oh well, yeah, pretty clear who's in the wrong, but it's not the first time.
You know what?
Lack of vision. I reckon Elon should step in.
It's staged.
Get a bit of LiDAR on this.
It's staged.
100% marketing.
It's marketing.
100% marketing.
It's staged.
Yeah.
Those boats are all repaired and already in the UK and Portsmouth. Those boats, they had it all ready. It's like the moon landing. It's all been staged.
I mean, this is the most blatant case of the moon landing or cold brow going around the world. I mean,
did you see?
Fucking unbelievable.
Did you see the wind, the way the waves were going in the background, right the opposite to the way the boat was sailing? And did you see the flag on the top of the mast? It wasn't even blowing.
It was filmed in a studio. No, it obviously we don't believe any of that. It's sad though, but it's great to see. I mean, how good are some of these technical teams to actually pull these boats back together so quick and pull together
100%.
as a team. There's a lot of work. It wasn't light damage on Mappa at all. They lost a lot of gear. They had to replace basically all their starboard rigging, starboard side rigging as well. The spreader pole.
It could have been a lot worse, couldn't it, though, when you think about it?
Yeah, could have been so much worse. But racing.
No, we're fortunate. No one's injured. The boats are back in the race. The Ocean Race Europe is continuing on. 7 boats.
Yep.
Biotherm took the win out. We saw a epic battle between Militia and Paprika coming into Portsmouth.
Yes, it was cool.
And then how's this? I've even written it as the Canadians. We're next in place, and then Amala. I mean, it's but she's on. This is Europe,
and so the next leg kicks off Sunday night. So as this goes to air,
as you're listening,
listening, hopefully, and just straight to Portugal, I think. So, I'm pretty sure that's where they're going to.
Here. Yeah.
So good luck. Very cool. More carnage.
Right. Now,
more carnage.
Speaking of crashes,
Wow.
Sail GP.
Wow.
Sail GP. So it started off with the rudder.
The French boat, in the practice day on the Friday.
With BP's water ski.
It's pretty much obviously a very high-speed venue. And my take on it, I can be completely wrong here, but bear away, top mark, maximum downforce, windward rudder. And the windward rudder just said, you know what? I'm done. I'm out.
Yep, I'm going.
Yeah.
Crazy part was a windward.
As mentioned before, and the rudder, what I didn't mention before, just goes could have flying in the air.
Yeah.
And could have taken out anyone. As it turned out, didn't. And then
look, let me explain.
You know, the brilliant. Oh, go ahead.
It was on the French boat. It was the French rudder. As we all know, if you put anything French under too much pressure at work, tools down, go straight out on protest, and the rudder's just folded.
Well, it was day 5 of a 4-day week.
You know what? Given it was day 5, it's like, you know what? I've hit my 35 hours. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm out of it.
No, apologies to our French fans. We're playing. It was crazy. It was crazy to see. But then straight after, more carnage.
Oh, straight after, the Brazilian said, I see your rudder flying out there, but I'll raise you.
I can better this.
I raise you.
I'll completely destroy my boat and disintegrate the front beam.
My sponsor said, whatever they do better. You do better. So we did.
So anyway, front beam gone, as spoken about with Alex. Front beam gone, major structural failure. Fortunately, no major damage. Damage to people, that is. Damage to boats, but boats can be fixed, right?
Yeah.
And then the Seppos, the Americans, said, you know what? I see a major structural failure. I'll do something myself. I'll raise you. I'll just go down to a good old-fashioned port starboard.
Yeah, the front fell off, didn't it?
Jesus, that was a crash.
That was a crash. That was bad.
That was a proper
That
crash.
could have been. I mean, that's another one of those could have beens, isn't it? Do you know what I'm getting though? There's a lot of could have beens in this whole scenario, isn't there? What if? What
Well,
if? What if?
that's the scary thing. Exactly. So that's 3. Fortunately, everyone's okay and all right. Wouldn't be surprised though, based on this and the performance of the boats. And let's face it, especially with the T4s, like the performance is better, way better.
That's why.
The boats are going way faster. But
Are we at an edge? Are we at an edge or something?
I wouldn't be surprised. Next move, you're strapped into chairs and you've got the halo above you, F1 style.
No, the Barcarati aero helmet, team helmet.
We've discussed that one already. Yeah, maybe that's it. The Barcarati Halo.
There's a couple of things else I want to raise. So the Danish on that barrelway on day 1. So for the listeners who don't understand, on the Friday before they do practice races. So basically, it's a TV show. So if they get no sailing one day, they can use the practice races from the Friday as part of the show. So they're dead serious, those races. So when all that initial carnage happened, but on day 1 of the actual racing, Denmark hit 103.93 kilometres an hour on the turn down. Holy dooly!
That's going.
Yeah.
That's going.
Germans won the first race at home in Germany.
There you go.
With the great Stewie Bithell in the middle, calling all sorts of
Barcaratian.
stuff. It was great.
Barcaratians.
Happy for the German team. And one thing I want to discuss with you boys, you know, the Aussie team, all the teams have got to have a nickname. You know, the French are being referred to as Le Bleu, you know, and everyone's been given nicknames now. They went through this whole process.
That's very diplomatic.
Yeah. But they went through this whole process and they asked, remember, they asked all the Aussie team put out for people to vote for a nickname for the Aussie team, right?
Yeah,
and
correct.
Came back with, you know, whatever. And anyway, I've come up with a better nickname. I actually genuinely think I've come up with the nickname for the Aussie team. Right,
do it.
So the Aussies have not been having great starts. Everyone's starting super well and they've not been getting great starts. But you know what they're doing? They are doing really well going through the field, climbing the ladder, right? They just keep climbing the ladder, the Aussies, all the time, always climbing the ladder. It's got to be, they've got to be called the tradies.
No, never work. It'll never work. You know why?
Why?
Well, they're sponsored by Bonds,
which
make an underpant.
Oh, it comes
Who
down.
else makes an underpant? The tradies.
Oh, no. Oh, I didn't think of that. So it'd be double. Yeah. People could get confused.
It's what they call, I believe, a ambush marketing. Care of Jordan Spencer.
We're not being paid by tradies underwear, okay? It's not ambush marketing.
We should be, though.
But
I just looked down at my socks. I've got tradie socks on.
Well, you've got to have Bonds one. You support the Australian team. Anyway.
All right. So, super crashes, super stuff in the Sail GP. We don't have a result yet. Current standings, Jordan Spencer?
Aussie's a long way. They've done really, really well. So it's tied for second and third between France and the Kiwis on 24 points. The Aussies are on 32 points out in first. I think they got like a 6th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st was their scorecard. Germans are on 23. The Spanish, see, they've all got nicknames now. So the Spanish are now Los Galos. BP, Los Galos.
The Carls.
Los Galos. That's just the Carls. Yeah.
On 22 points. So anyway, they've jumped onto that. So the Carls, yeah. But yeah, it's another 3 races and then a final, I'd assume, tonight. Happy to
final tonight. Right, moving on then.
Yep.
ORC World Champs in Estonia.
I'm just looking at this right now as we were talking, to be honest.
We've had a bit of a reverse curse action going on in Class B with the Formula X, the XR41, who have taken out actually the top 2 spots. So XR41 new to the
Fray,
New to
into the fray.
new to the fray. Jesper Radic, of course, we're talking about. Who's congratulations to them. Ran taking out the Class A. So well done to all our mates on board there. Not a bad place to sail, I would imagine. Talon, Estonia.
They've had some good stuff going on in Class C. Obviously, always a competitive fleet as well. So it's all good.
Yeah, here. Now, finally, my final thing that I have, you guys might have a bit more.
Well, I've got one ready. I've got one ready.
AC protocol.
Oh, so much to talk
Launch
about.
this
That
week.
could go for hours.
Oh,
Big chat.
100%. No, it's still going to be a deed of gift match, right? We're not even close.
Oh, God, I hope not. All right, go on.
So, I guess we've all kind of read in the media, but what do we have? We've got no grinders anymore.
Mm.
We've got one female on board
As a minimum.
Yeah. You can sail your current boat.
75 million cap.
Cap.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think so. You either use your current boat, or if you build a new one, it's got to be completely built in your home country or something. I haven't.
Something
around
like
that one. How that?
Yeah. So I need a bit more research required on that one.
Yeah.
Maybe we could get Sam Bourne on to actually give us the full. He's a bit of an AC pundit, so he can give us the full rundown on what and where and how. But still, the match will be taking place in Naples and the qualifying series. Fleet racing was on the cards as well for all the teams.
Yep.
And then 3 AC40 events. Is that right?
3 preliminary regattas. I think 2 of them are definitely AC40s. 1 will be in the 75s. And the Youth and Women's America's Cup as well.
Yep.
Yeah, well, that was a given. That has to keep going. They know that's probably drawing some serious spectatorship.
Absolutely.
But I think we're getting closer to the AI side of things with just twiddlers. On the other side of that, they haven't included the banter button.
No, but there's still time.
If you move to page 69, I'll think you find. I'll think you find it's in there. It's a big blue button.
The other
Sorry, I missed that one.
There's a couple of other things that are really important. The nationality rule.
Yes.
So that's
the Burling. What do they call it? The Burling rule. Yeah.
So that change is important because you don't have to, if you're not from that country and you had to have sailed with the team in the previous cup. But now it's only several members of the crew. I think 3 or something have to be your nationality, so you can bring a couple of bodies. The other ones is
which basically means Burling could be skippering the Italians
if he can get the spot. Some pretty good sailors skippering that.
Oh yeah, no, but in general,
exactly. I mean, and he could be the first person to win 4 cups in a row. It would be interesting if the Italians win, wouldn't it? That would be a game changer.
Oh. I'm all over it.
But he could have done that with the Kiwis, had more chance of that with the Kiwis. The other one is the America's Cup partnership. That's an important thing where they're trying to build this longevity, being able to market. They're basically trying to create same thing SailGP's done, where they're creating sporting teams and they all have equity and ownership in the thing, and they can sell to sponsors for more than just one cup cycle. So yeah, I think they've been nutting out this one for a long time, but it's not fully signed off yet. So who knows? As Bossy said, it could still be a deed of gift race.
Yep.
Cool. What else?
What else we got?
Mara Stransky, boys. I do have to.
Mara Stransky, yes, she's had a second. I saw.
Laser Euros. Anna Munch won from Denmark. The Danish produced some good bloody laser sailors. Mara Stransky's had a great one. Zoe Thompson in 6th from Aussie. Polish girl of Agata Bałwinska in third. Emma Plashat in fourth. Maxime Jonka in fifth. So anyway, a little bit of bias there, just because obviously Barkarati and Mara, but I'm a big fan. Get your shit out of my shit, Mara.
Very good. Well, I just want to touch on the Ely Beach Race Week, if that's okay with you, blokes. I've had some comms with a couple of people, and
Speak up a bit, BP. We can't hear.
Oh, bloody text!
No, we got you.
No, so I had a message from one of my mates from Drummoyne Sailing Club, young Sandor Tournay. He's gone up there with a 79er, the old Bethwaite 79er. He's racing in Sports Trailable, and he's been campaigning for years, so old mate. Well, you'd be happy with his scorecard, Jay. His first race he's dropped. Looking at the scorecard, that was a first.
He's got the picket fence, has he?
So he's had the clean sweep. Now, he rang me and said, do I get a mention on Barkarati because of what No, but anyway, look, I just wanted to say this because I want to congratulate him. It's a pretty good effort. And you talk about grassroots sailing, completely amateur, and people that are committing to the event. And Ely Beach Race Week does promote that. And it's been a good thing. So he's taken out the sports boat series, but also the week itself was just awesome.
Yeah, and they had great wind, great conditions, plenty of wind every day. I do want to, because every different class is up there, like all sorts of things. They had a bunch of VXs, they had all the multi-holes, all the keelboat racing. They had a whole bunch of wetters up there, which is fantastic. I do want to mention two other things, boys, before we drop out. Mini Globe Race. They're going across the top of Oz right now. Just below New Guinea.
Oh, yes.
Just above Oz.
Correcto.
So, Leg 3, they're underway.
Might be able to drop in and see your statue, Jordan.
They would have, yes.
Or they actually use it as a lighthouse. They just see this big red glow.
And the other thing I've got as the final thing, boys, from Ministry of Sailing, I've got this.
Yeah, you have.
Crisis Management Handbook.
Yes. Regatta Crisis Management Handbook. I've got a box of them. We'll discuss this offline, but we've got a box of them and we're going to give them away. Thanks to Ministry of Sailing, John Schaefer. I think we've got 10 of them. So we'll do something about that. We might get Schaefer on for a quick chat and have a discussion with him.
Yeah, good idea.
But yeah, if you want to go through that whole process, we've got them to share. So yeah,
very good.
That'll be the go, I reckon. But I think that's a really valuable thing. So yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Well done, Chef.
Yeah, well done, Chef.
All good.
Cool.
Yeah, we're all good.
Let's put a pin in it. Head home.
All right, the guitar, BP.
Oh, hang on, let me get it out. Righto, I've got it. Let's go.
How can you talk and sing at the same time?
I was trying to work that out.
It's amazing. You're like a ventriloquist.
No, you know how you play didgeridoo? You breathe in and breathe out at the same time. It's kind of like circular breathing.
Wow, you do it really well.
Circular singing, talking.
Circular singing, talking.
All right, everyone, thanks for everything, reaching out to us. Thanks for Vycobi for the sponsorship of Listener of the Month. Thanks to our friends at Radix Nutrition. Just jump on there, use Barkarati's discount code.
Thanks to Alex, great chat.
Thanks to Alex, yeah, it was a great chat, great to hang out. Thanks for you two blokes for making some time in your busy weekend for me, with kids. And thanks to the listeners for joining us. Reach out to us at cheers@barkarati.com and we'll speak to you next week.